Yeah. Can you imagine covering up as a Muslim woman, taking a shahada? Well, then again, the devil knows the Bible better than Christians, right? Because when the Antichrist comes, he will have you so convinced. So maybe we're practicing for the final, watching evil and how evil romanticizes or how evil tries to stroke your hair. But the Antichrist will come back and you will fall to your feet in love. And that's why I tell everybody, never, ever, ever worship anything. Don't do it. Because then you will never be able to recognize evil. Evil exists. Did you see all the people fawning over the new pope? That's what it'll look like. And that creeped me out. They're already painting bad guys as good guys in the movies. Well, yeah. But we're watching evil. Those are scripts. We're watching evil on YouTube. Do you think the lockdown prepared everyone to fall in line? I don't. Well, I don't for myself. I feel like it woke me up. It opened my eyes. It made me question more things than I've ever questioned in my life. Now, some people didn't, and they did exactly what they felt they needed to do, but I'm cynical, and I feel like it changed me for life. Right, I felt like it was a test of gathering people and mind control or agenda or a movie. I kept saying, this is a movie we're living in. Yeah, it made you either bonkers or rebellious. Well, and I'm rebellious by nature, so that this just gets you desensitized. Right? Wild shit. Wild times. Yeah. And nobody was allowed to talk about it or talk to each other about it online. That was my other red flag. And it did. It made us all come together on YouTube because we were out all living our lives and, you know, we didn't care about social media, but it made everybody tune in. It made everybody tune in. It was kind of like a mind control. Get you tuned into your devices, your TVs. You had no other choice, right? You had no other choice. How else are they going to get people to stop living the life they've been living and tune in and become dependent on social media to get their information, but then shut you up if you question it? Get out of here. You got to be a special kind of stupid if you didn't see that, right? Because I was like, this never happened in the history of my life, and I've been on this planet a long time, and it wasn't meant for us. It was meant for the young people, not us. A lot saw through. Yeah, it was crazy. That was crazy. But I'll tell you one thing. I am desensitized. Desensitized. Almost numbingly. But maybe that's a good thing. It's all a movie. All of it. What's the next? Oh, that's right. There's a new COVID strain in, where was that? Australia? I saw that. I said, oh, good. Good. Maybe it'll take us all out and you'll have no more taxpayers. Oh, no, it'll make its way over here. I'll write it out. Ugh. Strangers in the dark. That wasn't me. That was this. Control a generation's mind. You can control a nation. Yeah. And even this whole RFK Jr. thing, this Make America Healthy Again, and they're fighting it. With the food that keeps people on pills and sick. I'm like, who's really running the show? Corporate. Have fun with that. Good luck, folks. Now, you're grown. You have freedom of choice. At any time, we could all just go, no more fast food, and those fast food places would go, whoomp, non-existent, right? So it's a choice. Let the people running around obsessed with fast food eat their fast food. The rest of us, we're like, yeah, just release the ingredients and we can be making our own mind up. And I think that's all that this is about. That's all this is about, is people demanding the ingredients. Remember when people demanded it before and they had to put labels on food? They were forced. Carbohydrates, sugars, because food never used to have labels. You know what I'm saying? And now they do. So pretty soon, by even bringing this forward, who pays the highest in health insurance in the world? USA. Highest in pharmaceuticals? USA. Whose food is at questionable levels of things? USA. But we have freedom of choice. Don't eat it. Don't eat the garbage. You'll put them out of business. That's the thing, is people are always running around going, somebody fix this. Like a bunch of Chantels. Somebody fix this. Somebody make it better. Somebody make it better. I want it to all be made better. Then do something about it. Being on the internet as a keyboard warrior is not fixing shit. Boycott it. Stop eating it. You're grown. But everything's about soapboxes and microphones. Do you see how they promoted protesting during lockdowns? That was okay, but you couldn't go fishing on the lake. And nobody was like, what the we're living in a movie. Come on now. It's a movie. And like Foodie does, creates a narrative to get you to fall in line. That's what Foodie does. So I guess if you recognize it, it'll be easy to spot everywhere, in any genre, any subject. Or you can just keep denying it. She has people that deny that what she's doing, because those people are manipulative and they're ill. And that's why they stamp what she does and excuse everything, because they are just like her. My guess is they are self-destructive themselves, and they need people to hang out with just like themselves, so they don't beat themselves up. they go, it's okay. That's why Foodie compares herself to everybody else doing bad things. That's what her audience is that literally stand by her side. They're just like her. And maybe Salah is just as sick. We know his fetishes are sick. They've been exposed by him. So my guess is he's just as self-sabotaging as her. Or he is a grifter. He's a scammer. My ring is filthy. Right? Lucky you have a Suma. Lucky you. To me, it was, you know, it was a rough one. That virus, probably because it was, you know, not organic. I've had all the vaccinations, so I don't know what to think. There you go, Talia. You have freedom to think whatever you want. Absolute freedom. But they didn't like the conversations we had on my channel when we thought we had freedom of speech. I'll tell you that much. And that right there had the red flags flying in my brain. I was like, oh, I see what's up. Because I remember there's been a few times in my life, if I questioned something and I was right on the money, I would get backlash in real life. And that conditioned me to this type of personalities that want to control your thoughts and your actions. So they will gaslight you, or they will condemn you for your reactions to their behavior. That's when you got clued into the personality type, because there's a lot of them out there, and they're usually self-destructive. And they want to bring you down with them. So, because they know you're better than them. They know you're more self-controlled than them. But they'll shame the shit out of you if you don't agree with them. And I will never be that person. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. It's never going to happen. That's why I believe in the end, I will not take the mark. I will take death. Because that's what I'm told to do. Ain't no way I'm spending eternity in hell. And whether you believe in that stuff or not my problem, but I do. I've seen miracles. I've seen unexplained miracles. Unexplained. So, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's wild. Yeah, that's what pissed me off when they're running around saying my body, my choice. And then they were slandering people who just chose not to engage in the nonsense. I'll wait 50 years till it's proven. How about that? And then when it is, I still won't do it. I still won't do it. I trust in God. Some felt there was no point. Yeah. That's true. And I think I've been this way since I was a kid. And it could be, I've always had like this sixth sense or something, or intuition. But I've always been this way since I was a kid. I always question everything. Like, why? And then when you had a parent that would be like, I just said no. That wasn't good enough. I wanted more knowledge. So I spent all my life comparing and researching. And if I couldn't find the information, I was visually watching the responses and the available information. And then when I'm shut up from actually hitting the nail on the head, that's when I learned about people that control other people. Because they're stupid, they're immature, and they're miserable. So they want you to be miserable. And they don't want you to question anything. So that's always been a red flag for me. The minute you're shut up, then you got a valid question. Then that means either walk away or question it some more. And then when they shut you up again, I won't even indulge. I won't even indulge. And these are just knowledge from experience. I mean, I worked with so many people that were drug addicts, and that was their thing. If you were not one, they constantly tried to get you to indulge, because they don't want to look at themselves as weak, or they want to see if they could make you weak. And it never worked with me. That's why I had no friends, of coworkers when I worked in the bar, because most of them were drug addicts too. And I didn't indulge. So I wasn't cool. Well, I think I was pretty cool. It takes a strong person to say, I don't need your weakness, to exist or be important. I don't need your friendship either. I don't want to be friends with people like you. That's probably why I get hate on this platform too. Seriously. I've dealt with so many of them. I can see the way they operate and the way they treat people. They just want to shame and slander you, because you're everything they can't be or don't want to be. I don't know, but I've seen it many times. Stupid. You can never get me to follow along. Ever. Ever. But they still try. I'll be the one. I'll be the one to get her to snap or break. They didn't test that. Right? And then there was no accountability if anything happened. Are you kidding? And people still lined up? Girl, I wouldn't even play the lotto because I think it's rigged. Please. Are you kidding? Digital numbers being drawn. And do you ever know if anybody actually really wins just because they stand there with a check that said they did? Are you kidding? It's just another way to get you to believe in some false BS, and you stand in line for that damn lottery ticket. And who knows if these people are paid or not to pose with a check. This can happen for you. Sure, once in a while, they may have $1 million winner, right? Or even whatever. But those big ones, that 180 million, that 4 billion, get out of here. This is why I'm cynical. Remember when it won in California, they accidentally had a winner, a real one, at 11 o'clock at night. By morning, they had to redraw the numbers. I said, I knew it. I knew it. Why did they have to redraw the numbers? What was wrong with the numbers? Because somebody really won. I stared at this TV screen and I said, you know what I do love about good versus evil? Good always shows you evil. Whether you believe in it or not, whether you buy it or not, that always shows itself. It's always shown to you. Nobody was allowed to question that. Some people don't want to see it. And some people are waiting to see it. And then some people still will deny it, even when it's in your face. Now, what's going on right now, the movie we're living in, I believe somewhere in this movie They have to reveal evil. And I think it's going to get scary. I kind of feel like it. I got this like shift in energy where they were trying to make you think that everything was... Did you guys see this big, beautiful bill? Did you see it? It does nothing for the American people. Absolutely nothing. Zero. Zip. Zilch. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all this is the tax plan from 2017. I know. My husband and I read the whole thing, and we're like, it doesn't do anything for the American people. Nothing. You know what scares me the most about all this? Is not the fact that these people either worship Trump or hate him. Don't give a fuck about that. You people were that way during COVID. I don't even care. Those people still exist. They do not even make sense. They're just emotion driven. But here's the thing. This to me is the most biblical moment in time I think we've ever experienced. Is it on purpose? Is it on purpose? Is it supposed to be biblical? Because they already tried to get us with, you know, okay, what are all the tribulation, famine. So they're, you know, telling us food's not safe. I mean, it's all a script, right? Because when God does it, it's going to be real. It's not going to be this fake movie we're living in, right? Famine. There's going to be, so food is bad. Food this, synthetic, food this, food that. Okay, and then there was, there's famine, sickness, right? Plague. But when God does it, it's going to be real. It's not going to be Hollywood drummed up for starting a rumor. I mean, well, you're going to know. In fact, those people will be in panic mode. They're not going to keep trying to recruit people on social media to just keep spreading the message and the misinformation. This shit will be real to the point where these people, the news anchors and all this garbage, they will be running. They won't even be on there going, so in today's news, right? They will be running. They will be, you will know. So to me, it's a movie and we're trying to act out revelations, right? Am I wrong? Is that what it feels like? It feels like, right? And then people are cashing in on it. Like Canadian Prepper, what they do is they attract people who cannot, they're scared to death. Well, Anonymous has been running their narrative and building their channel and all their social media for at least the last 5 years. So everything is this date, right? And yet, here we still are. So, sorry, I don't listen to people who think they're prophets. There are no true prophets. So, I'm watching the script. I'm watching people's actions, their body language, because if these people are just, I'm telling you guys right now, and they ain't out running like their hair's on fire, and you already seen the people who knew what was going on, and they tried to tell everybody, they've been shushed. Okay? That's how you know. Anonymous is still here, huh? Yeah. I'm not looking for the answers. I'm watching. I'm watching it play out because nobody knows except God. That's it. And if you believe people out there know, there's some self-gain in that shit. And it's usually for money. For real. Follow the money. This is wild, though. This is probably the wildest, and I think it's mostly because I grew up without social media, so they can only fool you once, and then it was over. But on social media, they can fool you every hour, every minute of every day. And that's called staying rent-free in your head. And what a great way to distort reality. Because after you turn off the TV when I was growing up, you were out in the real world. You seen what was really going on amongst neighbors and family. But now it's an altered, any script can be put in front of you. And if it's your worst fear, it'll create anxiety and you'll believe it as reality. That's what anxiety does, or you wouldn't fear it. If it didn't make your worst fears come true, where you could live in that fearful state, like the movie Final Destination, The Conjuring, all this shit. Whatever you fear, they'll put a movie out, like mine was, natural disasters, because that's a real thing. That's wrath of God. But that other shit, no. It's just silly. But if your worst fears can be unleashed, and you can feel it, and it's unleashed in a movie, right? Then it became reality. Oh my God, it happened. It's in a movie. Oh my God, this could happen in real life. And then what do? They start making you believe it will. Next thing you know, you're agoraphobic. You're trapped in your house. You're petrified. You're hypochondriac. What a gig. What a gig. When we were growing up, that didn't exist. People actually knocked on your fucking door to sell their bullshit. But now, all you had to do is turn on the TV. What's every commercial on TV, pretty much? Pharmaceuticals. You should tell your doctor about this if you have this. If you have this, you should tell your doctor about this. I will. I should. Remember when commercials were trying to get you to go to the store and buy shit, like toys? Now you can order online, right? So there's no sense in that advertisement. Oh my God, this isn't even rocket science. I'm from the Stone Age. I don't ever remember them on TV. I think it's because I was out living my real life and not watching TV at home. But I still remember in the 90s, there was no internet. So I still remember on TV, it was clothes. It was shit like that. I do not remember them advertising. Yeah, it's mind programming, where our minds are a computer chip, which is why we know no sense of time, only by what they tell us with calendars and clocks. Why do we need that shit? Why do we need dates and times? Why? Because it either elongates your life or shortens it. When in the end, we don't know. We have no clue. We have no clue what a year really means. It could be 100 years and we don't know it. Do you see what I'm saying? Those commercials should be banned. Yeah. Oh, no, they only ban the ones, listen, they only ban the ones that may or may not actually be healthy and not, I'm trying to find a word, something you should fear. We don't need a cold tea, a pup and a, I don't know what you're saying. Yes, they used to do chicken pox parties. I've had, when I was a kid, not only did I have chicken pox, but yeah, you went to the neighbors brought their kids over, and you touch each other, like this, touch, here. Well, now we all got it. Let's all be done at once, right? That's what they did. I also had the mumps. I know you ain't gonna want to hear this. The mumps, where your jaws swell up and the pain goes through the muscles. Yeah, I was vaccinated. I had the mumps. I'll never forget that. I remember that. I remember that pain. You couldn't even move like your jaw. They didn't panic. No. They didn't keep me away from anyone. Mm-mm. Now, I don't know if me or my sister ever had the measles, but I remember the mumps. I remember the pain. Well, I did that, yeah, to my kids. As soon as one of my kids popped out in chicken pox, I was like, give the chicken pox to your sister now. I'm forever grateful for the childhood I had, running free. Yeah. And you had the measles. Mm-hmm. Mumps are real. I thought what Mom said to keep us from smooching. Oh, you're talking about what do they call the kissing disease? Not the mumps. It's got a different name. I cannot even remember. Mono. It's mono. They called it mononucleosis, right? Yep. That's how they could get you to admit if you've been kissing somebody. Mm-hmm. Glandular fever. I'm just saying, remember your brain is a computer. It'll absorb information as fact or you'll question it. And I think the intelligent people of the world question everything and don't fall for, or they'll fall for anything. Once it's been, if you got two sources with fake information, right, then chances are it's a script. If you can see it, touch it, feel it. Like, did you see how they're pushing the crypto coins? And yeah, I get the new generation of digital kids, but until they get a control over people that will be unwell because they have a wallet on their phone, not in their back pocket, but on their phone, being watched. That's some scary stuff. Over digital numbers, you could be targeted. Can you imagine getting wealthy and then somebody takes it away from you? That's frightening shit, dude. That would be the reason that the devil would remove cash. Because then, wow. Do you know how ugly that could get? And it's not about tracking how much digital numbers you have, because that's what it would become. It's being censored of what you can buy or being hacked, being shut down. Remember how they said nobody could ever touch that? But they proved it in the fight for freedom in Canada when they shut down all those crypto wallets like that. So they sold you on a false sense of security, and then Canada was able to shut that shit down when people were sharing money. That was wild. And that was another moment where I went, yeah, I don't really believe in, I'll never invest. I'm old. I'll never invest in something I can't tangibly hold in my hand and hide it under a mattress or bury it in the yard. Someone could erase it. There you go. What does not make sense is, oh yeah, the new ID does make sense. Yes, it does. You can still travel, get a passport. Get a passport. Everybody is condemning people that didn't get the real ID. Condemning. And right there, I'm like, so we have a scanner. on the back of our IDs now, which means stored information. Obviously, the information you need is right there on the front. It's got your weight, your eye color, your hair color, a picture of you, your address, whether you're a donor or not. Can you imagine now? Swipe. What's going to be stored in that? Could they change you from non-donor to donor? Could they change you from... You know what's wild? This is wild too. This guy, okay, people are making videos. They're going to the airport. They don't have a real ID. They're testing it. They bought a ticket. Doesn't even ask you if you have a real ID on the ticket. It just tells you that if you don't, it could take a little longer. Can you imagine if they could integrate your medical information from the digital charts? There's no handwritten charts anymore. They're digital. They're out there. All your medical information. Anyway, they're called portals. Anyway, so, oh my God. So this guy, he's filming himself going through the airport. This is what I love about these kind of people. They're the ones that get shut up on the internet, by the way. So he goes out there. He don't care. He spent $800 or so on a round-trip ticket, right? He's either going or he's not, because he ain't taking a passport. He's just got his driver's license, no real ID. Packs his suitcase, goes there, films it all, shows it. Goes right through. Just goes right through. No problem, no extra, nothing. No, they didn't. Go watch. They're telling you that. I have been pulled in the back. It's random. If you buy a one-way ticket, you're going to be pulled into the back. They want to know why you're going one way and you're not coming back, even domestically, right? Happened to me twice. I was just going one way. I only bought a one-way ticket because I didn't know when I wanted to come back, and I didn't want to play around with changing dates. I just wanted to buy another ticket home when I felt like it, right? I've done that twice. Got pulled in the back both times. You will randomly be pulled. So I'm just saying, he's doing the videos. There's other people doing it too, showing you. So I'm like, well, what's the fine print? Anybody look at the fine print? Oh yeah, there was something in there about, I don't remember. It's literally, it's just a driver's license, but there's it's weird. I gotta go prove if it's true or not with this, what you're agreeing to kind of shit. It's weird. But I've seen it in more than 10 places. So now I got to figure out if that's real or not. When you do your signature for your new real ID, read more, right? I don't know, but it's weird. And it could be just another test to see if they can get each other to shame each other. Well, you've had 20 years to do it. Yeah. Didn't find it necessary, right? So why do it? Just to get in line and be so cool? You got a star on your ID? I don't. I should get one. That's so dumb. How do you think Nike became so big? It's all supply and demand. But why do people shame each other when it's none of their business? What you want, what you don't want, because they were told to. They've created platforms doing that shit. Every platform. And you're supposed to feel bad about yourself. You don't fit in. You're not cool. Yes, we're tracked through our cars. Stop. It's not that. It's not that. It's a test. Will you all get in line by being shamed? Nobody learns a effing thing. But I'm not going anywhere. If I do, I'll just have my passport. That's all. Still a little book, right? Ain't nobody scanning a passport. I joke with my mom. We're always randomly pulled for a search. It's all her fault. There you go. Blame your parents. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to roll out. We're just shooting this shit. Don't get all feelsy about it. Trolls that are in here. Don't get all feelsy. Think. Think outside the box. And the box is whatever you've been conditioned to believe. If you can't touch it, smell it, chances are it isn't real. Honestly. So, hopefully I've got you thinking like that. Then you'll be able to not feel so much for Foodie. You just stare at her and go, unfathomable. Who does this shit? Thank you, Daddy. That's just how my brain works. I don't care what y'all do with your life. I do not care. It is your walk. It's the only walk you have that we know of, right? Do it your way. But please don't be romanced. Please be observant. Because I don't want anything. Listen, we only got one shot at this. Could we please just think for ourselves? That'd be great. That's all I encourage. Think for yourself. Now, if you want to read all the red letters in the Bible, it might help you. The plan. Just don't be deceived by the serpents. All right, guys, I love y'all. Have a wonderful day. And I know I lost a lot of people because they didn't want to hear that shit. But that's good. I don't want them here anyway. If that's the way they feel, and they're just so dead set to not be even question anything, that doesn't work for me. I love thinkers. Daddy, really, you really think Foodie wanted to really save that kitten? Then why didn't she get out of the fucking car and go find it to give it its medicine? Because she don't care. She wanted that kitten for content. Just like BBJ, Sam, Julia, Howie the hamster. She's not going to help them. She proved it yesterday when she sat in the car while Salah filmed himself. Bruce Lee! No. Sorry. She would have been desperate looking for that kitten. Almost in tears, because that's what I would have been. I wouldn't have left till I found it. Nope. 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 I try to see the best in people too, but in the end, you'll try to empathize with evil. And then that's the snare you don't want to get into. You have to challenge evil straight on. And we know when it works because she goes full vengeance, right? Instead of accountability, she goes vengeance. You do not try. No. Evil is evil. Recognize it. Fight it. Stay away from it. Or shame it. All right, guys, I got to go. I love you. Bye.